Hello, and welcome to our presentation on wireless fidelity and its effect on social interactions in the psyche. My name is Andrew Grapp, and I will be narrating this presentation, and my partner working with me on this is John Hidalgo. We hope you enjoy this presentation as much as we did preparing it.
Since 1997, people have been able to browse the internet with their phones, and since August of 1999, people have been able to do high-speed browsing on their mobile devices anywhere within the range of Wi-Fi with the tap of a screen. Before all this, people had to make a time-committed connection and be confined to one spot in order to connect to the internet. After they got home from work, using a 56K modem that would take minutes to connect, and even then would provide a slow connection experience that would be dismissible by today's standards. People were forced to stay in one spot in order to enjoy their internet. What we are going to find out today is how wireless fidelity, aka Wi-Fi, and wireless connectivity affect our social interactions today and where this technology is going in the next 20 years. As of today, there are 2.1 billion subscribers to a mobile data plan such as a 3G or 4G network, which means roughly 1 out of every 3 people in the world have a high-speed mobile data plan. The key difference between today and the slower speeds of the past is that people get that high rate of information flow to their portable devices wherever they go, which means they can stream high-definition movies to their phones while walking to school instead of interacting with the real world. Throughout this presentation, we are going to get the audience involved by asking you 7 multiple-choice questions to see how well you know Wi-Fi and user dependence. So if you would like to, meaning you don't have to if you don't want to, you can just watch the video for pure pleasure, you may get out a sheet of paper and number it 1 to 7 and put down what you think the correct response is when a question is asked, and then we'll see how you did at the end of the presentation. Throughout the video, you may see a lot of random clips and YouTube videos, and you may think that they have nothing to do with the study of wireless fidelity, and you are absolutely right. But the random clips of internet footage you will be seeing is a way to describe how people today use the internet on their mobile devices while at Starbucks or taking a study break in the library. It is a true representation of how today's generation is using the wireless internet. To start things off and to see how things work, here are a couple of questions on usage statistics to get things going. But before we ask you our first question, here's our first random clip. Yes, I love cats too. Now, on to our first question.
When was Wi-Fi, or wireless fidelity, invented for public use? Was it 1989, 1995, 1999, or 2005? The answer is 1999. If you have been paying attention during the narration, you would have gotten that one correctly.
Before we move on to question 2, let's examine a very popular Vine that has become popular with today's high-speed internet.
That was a close one.
Ha ha ha. Now, on to question 2.
For the year of 2012, approximately how much mobile data traffic was there in the USA in terms of gigabytes? Was it 100,000 gigabytes, 1 million gigabytes, 500 million gigabytes, or 1.5 trillion gigabytes? It turns out that it is D, 1.5 trillion gigabytes of information. That is a lot of YouTube videos that are being uploaded to the internet and passed around.
Are we rolling? Are we going? We're going. Oh, right now? Okay. It turns out that wireless data has been growing by over 69% year to year. It's clear that a lot of people today have mobile data plans and will continue to do more streaming and video sharing than ever before. In fact, in June of 2011, cell phones and tablets became the dominant method of Wi-Fi usage over laptops and other devices. This means that people are reaching for their cell phones and tablets over laptops than ever before to browse the internet, most likely due to their ease of accessibility and portability factor. Now, on to our next question. But first, here's this.
What is the ratio of tablets and cell phones that have wireless data plans to people in the United States? Is it one wireless device for every 2 people, 2 wireless devices for every 3 people, 9 devices for every 10 people, or 1.02 devices for every 1 person? The answer is D, 1.02 wireless devices for every 1 person, which means that there are 336 million wireless devices in America, which is more than enough to go around, literally.
Are you as shocked as I am? Are you as shocked as I am? Believe it or not, as of July of 2013, there are more devices with a wireless data plan than there are people in the United States. And what's even more surprising is that the figure is even higher in Europe than in America, which makes you wonder, what could people possibly be doing with all these devices? During our research, we interviewed 50 Embry-Riddle students and surveyed 100 people online a series of questions to see how dependent they are to wireless information, and you'll be amazed at the results. For instance, we only found one student at Embry-Riddle out of 50 that didn't have some sort of wireless data plan, but instead a non-smartphone that could only make phone calls and text. But before we go into that, let's take a look in the past of what people were like before everybody had mobile technology. To experiment, we decided to send this man, Clark Duke, a semi-famous television actor who is completely dependent on wireless technology, back to 1985 to see how he would interact with people who have no knowledge of the technology. Let's take a look and see how things turned out.
Hey, where's the Kodiak Club?
Down the street, dude.
Okay, thank you. You know, I'm caught right in the middle of a thing right now, but can I text you later?
Can you what?
Are you online at all?
I have no idea what you're saying.
How do I get a hold of you?
You come find me.
It just sounds exhausting.
Do you think he found her? Probably not, because she doesn't have a data plan. Poor Clark. On to a more serious note, we decided to experiment with how 2 people would interact with each other in a coffee shop in 2 different time periods. One time period would be in 1985, before wireless technology, and the other would be 2013, the height of wireless technology. Let's take a look and see what happens.
Hey,
What book are you reading?
The Hunt for Red October. It's pretty good.
Nice. Maybe they'll make a movie out of it someday.
Fingers crossed, but I'm actually a big fan of Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson? I love his music. I just recorded his Thriller video on my VCR.
You have a VCR? Man, I would get one, but I can't afford one yet. I'm just a poor old college student.
Well, you thought that was impressive. As of yesterday, I was able to save up $800, which would be a lot of money in 2013, and buy my first CD player.
Compact disc player, what's that?
Well, it's like a record player, but everything is digital, so it sounds way better than a record player would.
Sounds really groovy.
It's far out. Say, do you like movies?
Every once in a while.
Well, I hope I'm not being too bored here, but would you like to go see Back to the Future with me sometime? The movie just came out.
Sure, why not? Here's my phone number.
So, could Saturday work for you?
Yeah, just give me a call.
Never got your name.
Well, it's Liz.
Okay.
See you around.
See you.
We're not saying that this isn't capable of happening today in 2013, but it is obviously much less likely due to people's attention being consumed by streaming movies, sharing data, tweeting updates, and monitoring news feeds. We think that you would agree that the 2013 scenario is completely believable. Now that people have high-speed internet wherever they go, they have no reason to interact with the high-speed world of reality. Now, I know what you're wondering. How were we able to go back in time to 1985 to conduct the experiment? Well, here's a hint. didn't think it would actually work either, but we made it back to 2013 safe and sound with the DeLorean still intact. Now, let's take a look at our survey results. Instead of us just telling you what we found, we'll present them through a series of questions. But first, here's a random video of what's getting the most views on YouTube these days.
Stop waving your banana in my face, I don't even want it. Whoop! Just kidding, I got it! Bloop!
Out of the 100 people we surveyed, how many people check their social media account, such as Facebook or Twitter, from their phones before they even get out of bed in the morning? Is it 10 people, 16 people, 25 people, or 50 people? The answer is C, 25 people. The results were as shocking to us as well. On average, about 1 out of 4 people look at their phones or wireless device for any new updates as their way of getting out of bed. Mind-blowing, right? On to question 5.
This is how it's demonstrated on a practice thing. So from here. Face.
Where's the vibe, girl? Rock my world, girl. Ooh, yeah.
We asked 50 Embry-Riddle students at Starbucks the following question. If you bought only a beverage at Starbucks, would you drink the beverage in the coffee shop if it didn't offer free Wi-Fi? How many of them said they would? Is it 4 out of 50 people, 8 out of 50, 15 out of 50, or 22 out of 50 people? The answer was 8 out of 50 people.
For the 8 people who said yes, we asked them a follow-up question of what their data plan was. And they all said that they are on unlimited data plans, so Wi-Fi wasn't even a factor for them. It's a wonder to see how much we need our wireless internet in order to fulfill our day, and how we would prefer to leave a place just because it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Let's see what the next question has in store.
Instead of a question with only one correct answer, we're going to mix it up. We're going to give you a bunch of answers, and you have to put them in the correct order, and then see if you are right. Another way to state this would be,
It's the put the choices into order and buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
out of 100 people we surveyed online, we asked, if you are on your way to a friend's house for the first time and you get lost, what would you do to find your way? Rank these answers from most popular to least popular. Call the friend up and ask how to get there. Pull out your phone and type in the address to a navigation application. Drive around until you see something you recognize. How do you think you did? The most popular answer was to put in the address on your friend's phone and let the GPS guide your way there. You may be amazed that 72 people out of 100 responded with that answer. Second place was calling a friend up, and then third place was driving around. This question points to how our first reaction whenever something isn't right to go straight to our phone for the answer instead of a more conventional means.
Now that we've opened up your eyes to the current world of wireless internet usage, let's take a look at what the future holds. You may find this hard to believe, but in 2015, the city of Philadelphia hopes to have the entire city Wi-Fi available, meaning with a Wi-Fi capable device, you'll have access to free Wi-Fi anywhere in the city. So, now you're never going to have an excuse for not liking your friend's photo on Facebook. Is this another sign that points to everybody being connected to the internet 24/7? As of today, there are already cars out there where people can convert their 3G or 4G network into a Wi-Fi hotspot with their car, allowing passengers to connect their wireless devices via Wi-Fi. But in the future, car companies estimate that by 2020, their select cars will automatically have access to the 802.11ac network, which is capable of streaming up to 1.3 gigabits per second of data right to their on-screen dashboard, and then broadcasting it out as a Wi-Fi hotspot for other devices to use. This also means that while driving, The driver could stream high-definition movies or video chat as a friend, meaning that he can always be connected to high-speed internet, even while driving. As if people today don't have enough distractions from the road. Now, let's move on to our final question of the video.
This last one's a tough question, so we'll consider it a bonus. Which of these countries offer free Wi-Fi throughout the entire country? Is it Sweden, Monaco, Japan, or Niue? The correct answer is Niue, a small island in the South Pacific close to New Zealand. As of 2003, this entire country made Wi-Fi free wherever you go. You can even get it on a yacht if you're within range.
It's no myth or rumor that our world in terms of information flow is becoming faster, more efficient, and more connected than ever before. But, is always being connected to the wireless internet wherever you go a bad thing? Well, yes and no. It's great that we have access to all this free information and staying connected to what's happening all over the world so we don't become marginalized within society. But the downside to it is that only in real life can you get that spontaneity of human interaction that Facebook and Twitter can't duplicate. Like something unexpected happening that turns into a great story, or end up meeting somebody that you would never expect to at a coffee shop. The other downside to progressive wireless connectivity is our dependence on it. We rely on search engines like Google for everything, where we're going to needing GPS to go anywhere, or asking Google what our mother's maiden name is, because we're getting to a point where we don't try to commit things to memory anymore. We just have our wireless devices in the internet to do all the remembering for us. Throughout the video, we tried our best to help you realize just how much wireless internet is trying to compete for your attention 24 hours a day, and the dangers both to our intelligence and social interactions with the real world. Well, that's all we have, and we hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Peace out.